What's up, guys? This is Austin from Austin, Dakota here. Back at it with another video for you guys tonight. Welcome to part 2 of my CD collection. Here we are, part 2. Now, for those wondering, I did do part 2, I believe several days ago, but I didn't like how it came out because it was multiple videos and takes and all that, so I'm redoing part 2 for you guys tonight. And then afterwards, I'm going to jump on Twitch. So by the time you see this video, I'll be live on Twitch. So, anyways, so I started. So the last time you saw me, we did my Ozzy Osbourne CDs. I left off with this album right here, Ozzy Osbourne's Black Rain, that came out in 2007, which I didn't think was bad. Not his best, though. Now I'm on to Metallica. People are saying that Metallica are they're ranked as the greatest band of all time. I personally don't think so. There's a band that's better, and you'll see though in just moments. All right, right here, Metallica. Next up in the collection is Metallica with Ride the Lightning. To me, this is a very, very good album. I love this album to death. My second favorite Metallica album, right behind my favorite, and you'll see my favorite momentarily. But I love this album. This is when they were still doing the thrash metal. They were still thrash metal before people say they abandoned their roots and all that. But this is an iconic album. I mean, Fight Fire with Fire, From Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black. Fade to Black being the best track on the album. Alright, get that back in there. Okay. Next album is their fourth album, And Justice for All, released in 1988. This is a very good album, too. I love this album. This, to me, is Metallica at their heaviest, in my opinion. My third favorite Metallica album. Easier said than done, man. Easier said than done. Absolutely love this album. Just mind-blowing everything. Mind-blowing riffs, mind-blowing guitar tone, mind-blowing vocals. James's vocals were at his best right here. I mean, Blackened, Eye of the Beholder, Harvester of Sorrow, The Shortest Straw, for sure my number one. Love that album to death, man. Still do. Alright, next album is, sticking with Metallica, the Black Album, released in 1991. Now, people hate this album because people are saying, oh, they abandoned their thrash metal roots. Okay? This album is not as bad as people make it out to be. It's still a great album. My personal favorite Metallica album. People say that this is also called the self-titled album. I call it the Black Album. It's just amazing. I mean, just a great album. Enter Sandman, Sad But True, Wherever I May Roam, Of Wolf and Man, The God That Failed. The God That Failed is easily my favorite track off the album. Through the Never, Don't Tread on Me. Yeah, awesome album. My personal favorite Metallica album. Alright, then we have Load, released in 1996. Pretty good. I like this album. Obviously, controversial album art, as you can see. If you don't know what the cover art is, go and do your research. But yeah, pretty good album. I like this album. It's not as bad as people say it is. I mean, King Nothing, The House Jack Built, Until It Sleeps, Wasting My Hate, The Outlaw Torn. Yeah, I like Load. Load is amazing. Then we get to their latest offering, and it also made my end of the year list too. 72 Seasons, released last year, 2023. A good comeback album for Metallica. This album gets mixed opinions. I personally really, really like it. Probably their best since Load. Either Load or trying to think of another album. Load and Death Magnetic. That was it, Death Magnetic. I thought Death Magnetic was underrated. Love this album. I mean, self-titled track, Lux Eterna, Screaming Suicide, Shadows Follow, Crown of Barbed Wire. Yeah, I love this album. This album rules. I don't understand the hate that it gets. I personally really like it. Again, album gets mixed opinions, but I say it's great. So Metallica was ranked the greatest band of all time. I personally don't think so. I think Judas Priest should be number one, in my opinion. The metal gods themselves. Alright, Judas Priest, Hell Bent for Leather. Released in... I don't know. I don't have a year on this. I don't know when it officially came out. But, yeah, very good album. This album was supposed to be called Killing Class, but there was a shooting around that time, and they had to change the album name to Hell Bent for Leather. But still, though, I like the album. I think it's very good. Come on, camera, focus. I mean, Delivering the Goods, Evening Star, self-titled track, Killing Machine, Before the Dawn. Yeah, great stuff, man. I love that album. Then we get to Ram It Down. Another good album. All the studio Judas Priest albums that I have are all remasters. So that's why when you see the remasters right there, it's a remaster. But yeah, another good album by Judas Priest. I like almost everything Judas Priest has done. I mean, Ram It Down, Heavy Metal, Come and Get It, I'm a Rocker, their take on Johnny B. Good. Blood Red Skies, man. God dang. Love that song. Best track on there. And then we get to their best album, in my opinion. Bar none, Painkiller. Painkiller is easily the best album ever made. Literally the best album ever made. Oh my goodness. What more can be said about this album that already has been said? Alright, sorry about that. My phone rang. But anyways, back to Painkiller. Such an amazing album, man. I mean, I think Rob Halford's vocals are just the best on this album. Just the best. And the album art is iconic. I mean, Painkiller, Hell Patrol, All Guns Blazing, Touch of Evil, Metal Meltdown. I love this. I think it's Metal Meltdown that's got the boom, 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 the booming drums right at the beginning. It's amazing. Alright, then we get to the Essential Judas Priest. Not much to be said about this album. I think it's just a greatest hits album. And in my opinion, it's a greatest hits album that everyone should own. If you're a big Judas Priest fan like I am. But it's got everything from like their debut, Screaming for Vengeance, Hell Bent for Leather. Yeah, good stuff. Alright, we are now on to the final album, or the final discography, and that's Five Finger Death Punch, and then afterwards the rest of my rock and metal albums will be shown. So Five Finger Death Punch now. I think these guys are underrated as heck. I don't give a crap what anyone says. So now we got Five Finger Death Punch, War is the Answer, released in 2009. Me personally, I think it's one of their more underrated albums. I love this one. Five Finger Death Punch, along with Nickelback, are just a band that people love to hate. I mean, this album's great. Bad Company, Far From Home, Falling in Hate, Walk Away, My Own Hell, Burn It Down, Dying Breed. No One Gets Left Behind, man. Whoa, man, that's heavy. Yeah, but good stuff, man. I love that album. But then we get to my personal favorite Five Finger Death Punch album, American Capitalist, released in 2011. Fantastic album. Unfortunately, it's in a standard case, but you know what the actual case looks like. But yeah, great album. I love this one. Very heavy. Ivan is at his angriest, in my opinion, on this album. Self-titled track, Under and Over It, which was one of the big songs. Let's see. Remember Everything, Coming Down, Menace. Yeah, amazing album. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm having too many distractions here. Next up, The Wrong Side of Heaven and the Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 1. Don't have Volume 2, but I think Volume 1 is just as good. I like this album. I mean, yeah. I love the album art, if the camera would like to focus. I mean, you got the devil right there, and you got the angels right there. It's amazing. I mean, Lift Me Up, Mama Said Knock You Out, Wrong Side of Heaven. Come on, camera, focus. Not want to focus here. I Am Sin, Anywhere But Here. Diary of a Dead Man. Holy smokes, just amazing track. That's the best track on the album, in my opinion. Then we got Your Six. This is probably my favorite Five Finger Death Punch album art. I love it. I mean, you got the mascot for Five Finger Death Punch with a bat and it looks like a hacksaw. Zombies around the album art. It's great. I love it. I mean, self-titled track, Jekyll and Hyde, Wash It All Away, Ate My Last Dance, No Sudden Movement, Hell to Pay, Digging My Own Grave, Meet My Maker. Great stuff. Alright, and then we get to... Let's show that. I'm going out of order. Let's see. Decade of Destruction 1. I personally like this album. I mean, it's just a greatest hits album, but Trouble and Gone Away. Gone Away is an amazing cover. Decade of Destruction 2. This was released in 2020, so during the pandemic. They didn't have any new music coming out around this time, unfortunately, but still a good greatest hits album. Broken World. The acoustic version of Wrong Side of Heaven is amazing. Just showed that album. I'm going out of order already. Ay. So we get to Fate or F8, released, I believe, in the same year, 2020. They were going through a lineup change too around this time, I believe. But yeah, great album. Like it says up there, Inside Out, Full Circle, Living the Dream, Brighter Side of Grey. Yeah, good stuff, man. And then we get to their latest offering, Afterlife. This is a great one too. I personally like this one. I don't care what anyone says. The updated band is on the back, as you can see. I mean, Welcome to the Circus, IOU, Blood and Tar, Rolled and Bones, Judgment Day, All I Know. This is the way with DMX, just gets a lot of crap. I don't know why. It's pretty good. Alright, so that's it for the discographies. Now on to the rest of my rock and metal CDs. Dying Fetus, Descend into Depravity, or Depravity. This was the very first Dying Fetus album I ever got. And I gotta say, these guys are still at it to this day. Freaking love these guys. Your treachery will die with you. That's all I gotta say. Point more towards of a brutal death metal sound than anything, but it's great. Next up, Morbid Angel, Gateways to Annihilation. This is a very underrated Morbid Angel album. Is it their best? No, I don't think so. But I personally like this album by Morbid Angel. I mean, Kawazu, Summoning Redemption, Age of Still I Am, To the Victor, The Spoils. I personally like Gateways to Annihilation. Then we got Death, Leprosy, 1988. A legendary album by a legendary band. Everyone should know who Death is. If you don't, you need to ask somebody. Seriously, ask your friends. But yeah, Leprosy, Open Casket. I think that's what it's called, Open Casket. Yeah, Open Casket, Pull the Plug. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. I love Leprosy. Alright, Cannabis Corpse. Play on words to Cannibal Corpse with Left Hand Pass. Pretty good stuff. I like this one. Marijuana themed death metal. And it's pretty cheesy. It's a cheese fest, but I like it. The 420th Crusade. A play on words to Bolt Thrower's The Fourth Crusade. Speaking of Bolt Thrower, War Master. My personal favorite Bolt Thrower album, everyone's favorite, and I have no problem with that. I mean, The Shreds of Sanity, What Dwells Within, the intro track is fire. Cenotaph, self-titled track, Rebirth of Humanity, god dang, man, love that album. Then I got Black Sabbath with Paranoid, right there. I mean, War Pigs, Iron Man, self-titled. I don't mind that Sabbath album. It's my only Black Sabbath album. Then Bad Wolves, Dear Monsters, released in 2021. My personal favorite Bad Wolves album. I don't care. I can get controversy all I want, but great album, man. This is when Tommy Vex left the group and Daniel Laskowitz joined in. Amazing stuff, man. Comatose, House of Cards, Springfield Summer, If Tomorrow Never Comes. Awesome stuff. Alright, we're going to transition now down to the second shelf. Alright, so next up, Avenge Sevenfold, self-titled. Very good. I like this album a lot. I mean, Dear God, Brompton Cocktail, Critical Acclaim, Gunslinger. Yeah, my personal favorite Avenged Sevenfold album. Everybody's favorite, and I don't have a problem with that. But people say Nightmare is their favorite or Hail to the King. Ailstorm, Black Sails at Midnight. I like Ailstorm. I mean, they're a bit of a cheese fest band, like cheesy fun. But yeah, I mean, I personally like them. I think they're pretty dang good. And this is my favorite Ailstorm album. I mean, Keelhauled, Wolves at the Sea, Leviathan, awesome stuff. Advent with Remove the Earth. This was a blind buy for me. I didn't know who Advent was until I heard this album. But I'm glad I did. Great band, great album. Blackout, Hanging the Giants, Doubt, Fear, Desolation, 3 Seasons, awesome stuff. Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory. Legendary album, man. Legendary album. Enough said. I don't have much to say about this album that already has been said. One Step Closer, Crawling, great stuff. Flesh God Apocalypse, Agony. Now, for those that don't know who Flesh God Apocalypse is, Flesh God Apocalypse are a orchestral death metal band from Italy. Great stuff. I love this album. Probably my favorite Flesh God Apocalypse album. I mean, the deceit right into the violation, man. Great stuff. Okay, then KK's Priest, Sermons of the Sinner. Now, for those that don't know who KK's Priest is, KK's Priest or KK Downing, this is his band. This is the band he formed right after he left Judas Priest, and it's a dang good album. I love Sermons of the Sinner so much. I mean, Hellfire Thunderbolt, Raise Your Fists, Brothers of the Road, Metal Through and Through. Yeah, great album. My favorite album of 2021. Then we got Obituary, Cause of Death. Just a legendary album. I don't have much to say about it. Obituary is just a classic. Fantastic stuff, man. I mean, Chopped in Half, Circle of the Tyrants, Dying, Body Bag. Awesome stuff. I love that album. Then we get to Inked in Blood. To me, not their best album. Not their worst. But it's just not an album I can see myself returning to. But I love the song Visions in My Head. Good stuff. Immortal, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. Now, I can see myself returning to this album. It's pretty dang good. I like it. A lot of Bathory worship on this album. I like it. I know it's Bathory worship and all that, but still, though, great stuff. The only album with Armageddon on drums. He left the band shortly right after this album. But yeah, I mean, Cold Winds of Funeral Dust. A Perfect Vision of the Rising Northland. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Alright, we're going to end part 2 with Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Iconic album, one of my favorite albums of all time. Everyone should know this album. If you don't know this album, I feel sorry for you. What are you doing? Go listen to this album, like, right now. Go listen to it. I mean, Bat Out of Hell, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Such an iconic album, man. Iconic. But yeah, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, best song. Alright, that's it for part 2, guys. Come on back for part 3. Part 3, we are going to cover, hopefully, the rest of the shelf, or at least get halfway through it. But, till next time, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, comment, like, subscribe down below. Let me know if you guys have been enjoying this series. And yeah, be sure you hit the bell so that way you don't miss any more videos like this in the near future. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys next video.